Hope you had a great Christmas. So I haven't made a video for a while because of those two very things. I was obviously spending Christmas, well, I nearly didn't spend Christmas with my mum and my sister because I got COVID leading up. So I had to close the shop and cancel all my customers, and I stayed in bed with flu-like symptoms and a throat that felt like it'd been ripped out and set on fire. So I haven't made a video in a while. Well, I tell porcupines. I have just made a video with my friend Freedom from Narc Free Formula. I hope you've watched that. Yes, yes, yes. There's a lot of you aren't going to like it. A lot of you are going to think I'm stupid. Probably a lot of you will think that, oh my God, she's nuts. Well, perhaps I am. I've been called many other things in my life. So we did that video because I wanted to show people that when you have somebody who, let's say narcissistic, obviously, because I can't diagnose, can I? Who goes out of their way to the point where it's no more, where you can fathom the stupidity, the lies, the fact that it is so hilarious. When somebody who is narcissistic gets exposed, and that person exposing doesn't give up, because they don't, not because they've got any type of disorder, not because they're obsessed, no, they don't give up because they want to prove to people that there is narcissistic people on YouTube pretending to be good people. And don't let that put you off. Good people are narcissists. See, bad people don't go around dressed up in black hats and capes and stare evilly at you. Narcissists now are dressed up like priests and nurses and doctors and policemen and life coaches. Why? Because that's their camouflage. So obviously I have been exposing David's camouflage for the last 5 years. And David, it's been 5 years. Let's get this straight. It was 5 years on the 7th of January. Okay? That's when I made the first video about you. So basically David was obviously trying to discredit me for the past 5 years. Happy anniversary for that. And it's got to a point where it's laughable. So I did a parody of you, David, because you're laughable. You are laughable. Erotic mania. What next? What next? It's got to be a joke. So we did. We made a joke out of you. See, I'm not going to worry about talking out and speaking out. The followers and the enablers and flying monkeys of David and all the people that think he's fantastic. They will one day realise how wrong they are. But I am just going to do what I need to do, and that is to keep on exposing David. Now, a lot of people have told me to stop. No, because that is something that we do when it comes to narcissists. We stop. We give up. We can't take the smear campaigns anymore. We get tired. I'm a bit more stubborn than that. I don't think David realised how stubborn I actually am. I think at first when we were friends 5 years ago for 14, 15 months, you know, it was all brand new to me. YouTube was brand new to me. I didn't know what I was doing. We were friends. Yes, David, we were friends. You invited me to Las Vegas. You were going to get me a helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon. It's all in my messages, which will keep coming out. Back then, I wasn't as strong as I am now, because I hadn't been through the biggest smear campaign that I'd been through. I hadn't been told that I was a borderline personality disorder, a malignant narcissist, crazy, dark triad, sycophant, and now we come to the piece de la resistance, erotic mania. See, David thinks by making me look bad, it makes him good. But no, David, you can make me look as bad as you want. You can frame me, you can smear me, you can talk about me, you can defame me, you can accuse me of all sorts of things that you want. But you, well, I'm going to say you and me know the truth, but I'm starting to wonder if you really do. I'm actually starting to wonder after this 5 years that you've been going on and going on about me being your stalker, my stalker. I have a stalker. You know I've got a stalker. Oh, I've got a bully. Oh, she's going to make me kill myself. I think you believe yourself. I actually think you believe yourself. Carry on, because a lot of people know the truth. I know the truth. I'm going to play the video now that David made about me a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, he's made a few since and always comes back to me. It always comes back to me. See, if people are actually quite aware of what's going on, people would be aware and recognise that my videos are what's called responding. Okay? So yes, I have been abusing people online. I've been stalking him for 5 years. See, David has an ounce of proof. It's quite a difficult one to get your head round, because it's like, who's the victim? Who's the narcissist? Who's the abused? It's very hard to tell, because no one knows a fuck what's going on. No one knows who's who. But you've got to start using your critical thinking, your logic, and start thinking about the things that are said, like David says, that, you know, I cut hair in my living room with men only. Now, logically, how would he know this? I go on dating sites and I abuse people on dating sites. How would he know this? And where's the proof? I'm supposed to ring people up and get them fired from their jobs. How does he know this? He's meant to get death threats because of me. Where's his proof? See, I make videos about those things. I make videos calling him out on the things he's called me, rather than making videos that are just blatant lies. And that's what you've got to understand, people watching this, that my videos aren't just created to bait David. My videos are created to show proof, to show receipts, to reply, and to be sensible, and to fight somebody in this community who has abused, who has stolen money, who has threatened people, who's been sexually inappropriate with women in a hotel room. That's claimed, obviously. I can't say that's a definite. But allegedly that happened. And a lot of people believe it. And the fact is that David's never once come out and responded to that claim. Never once come out and said, there's rumours going around about me that I have been sexually harassing women. It's a lie. You've never said that, David. You've never come out. Any innocent man would have by now said something. Because you were inappropriate with a woman in a hotel room. You scared her. She had to sleep with a knife under her pillow because you terrified her so much, you know? So this is the kind of video that I make, warning people about people like you. And the more you attack me, the stronger I get, the more I reply. But the funny thing is about the last one, the erotic mania, it's hilarious. But anyway, let's not go on. Shall we watch the video, David? Let's watch the video.
This video is about erotomania. I received an interesting email yesterday, and they said it's okay to read it to you, so I'm going to, instead of paraphrasing. So let me get this email up. David, my name is blank. I want to thank you for your work.
First red flag. This psychotherapist from America who's writing to him, why, if he believes in what he's talking about, can David not say his name? See, that's weird. The fact that David doesn't say name, because obviously if David said a name of a psychotherapist, you know what would happen is I'd research it and I'd find that it didn't exist. So guys watching this who had a narcissist in your life, these are the points to look out for. These are things that narcissists do that can't get them into trouble. Obviously, if they were stupid enough to put a name out there, they'd get it researched. And if the guy who believes in his ability to diagnose people from one video by not even talking to them or assessing them, then they should put their name out there and say, yeah, David, read my name, it's fine. Oh dear, it's not a good start, is it?
I'm a licensed and practicing psychologist here in the United States. I have been watching your videos for a couple months.
Okay. The situation between me and David is very intricate, and it's been going on for 5 years. And obviously, you know, most people don't want to choose a side when it comes to narcissism because, you know, it's very hard unless you really know that person inside and out, whether you've analysed them for a long time and you've done a lot of researching and maybe you've watched 5 years worth of videos from both sides and analysed them and then researched the backgrounds of both people, then perhaps you can diagnose them and say that I've watched this video. But for some psychologist who is obviously involved in knowledge about narcissism should know that watching a couple of videos over a few months is not going to give him any kind of information, any kind of anything, to be honest. You cannot watch a couple of videos from one person and then suddenly know exactly what's been going on between 2 people for 5 years. David, you're a fucking freak. You are an idiot. The only people that are going to believe this bullshit are people that literally, you know, people watching this. I want you to listen to something. People watching videos on David want to learn about narcissism because they've been involved with a narcissist. Their partner, their sister, their mother, their husband or wife, who they've been married to for 10, 15, 20 years, has abused them covertly with narcissistic, you know, abuse. And they come out of it realising what the hell they've gone through. Their whole life was a lie. They didn't realise they were living with this person. But here you are. You come onto YouTube and you watch a bloke you don't know nothing about that makes videos from researching narcissism and reading Wikipedia and other people's, you know, getting things of other people's videos that comes across quite clever and quite smartly dressed, you know, and you believe him and you attack other people and you shame and you victimize people because other people who have known that man since he started YouTube and been involved and been a friend who knows this man, you're willing to go against that person because your bias is telling you that David's a good person because why? He helps people with narcissism. What is the first rule of narcissism? Narcissists pretend to be good people so they can get away with their abuse. Narcissists will be saints, Samaritans, to be able to abuse people. They don't go around shouting, swearing and bullying, obviously open. But here you are, you're watching a man for an hour a week and you think he's a saint?
I came across a person stalking you right out in the open.
Okay, you do realise, David, that this video is being ripped to pieces by me. I'm going to look at it logically and rip it to shreds. So firstly, you cannot stalk out in the open, especially when nothing's been shown. You've never shown any information. I've never actually shown any signs of stalking you. There is nothing at all available anywhere on the internet, anywhere to show that I stalk. So this man is saying, I found this person stalking you in the open. Should we see what the definition of stalking actually means? To stalk, stalking. Pursue or approach stealthily. Stealthily. Let's look at the word stealthily, shall we? In a cautious manner, so as not to be heard or seen. I woke up and stealthily crept downstairs. No one stalks out in the open. You can't stalk out in the open, David. See, so what you say does not actually match what would really happen. If this was all real, you would be using different words. I have not stalked you out in the open. You have not proved my stalking. I have not stalked, so this man has not seen me stalking out in the open, David. Let's continue.
I want to warn you, this person is very dangerous. Please protect yourself and search this term. I'll probably get this wrong. Declarambalz syndrome. This is a very overlooked term with today's psychologists. And I'm not going to read the whole email. There's much more to it. But she went on to say that the very first video that the person stalking me ever made 5 years ago says it all. She said that the very first video is claiming I discarded her. Now, to discard someone means you have a relationship with them. We never did. I don't know this person. They don't know me.
Diagnoses. They aren't made from a word that someone says. It's an action that someone does. Okay? Diagnosing somebody with, whether it be borderline personality disorder, whether it be narcissism, whether it be any disorder, you wouldn't diagnose them from a word that they've said. You would diagnose them from their actions. So I've actually put a little quote here, a little edit that I put on my last parody video to show you when I said the word discard. So I'm going to read what I've written on this text. To discard means to get rid of something that is no longer useful or desirable to you. This is exactly what the narcissist does to people in their life when they no longer feel that the person adds value to them. To throw away things that are undesirable or no longer useful. You might discard a worn out shoe, for example. Now, to choose the word discard over the word reject, although we took the mick out of it in our parody, it's ridiculous. So, this psychotherapist of yours is diagnosing me with erotomania because I said the word discard. Interesting. And the funny thing is, I will be showing the last few messages that we had before all this reject, discard thing happened, because in fact, although back then I said the word discard, I didn't actually analyse it or really understand what was going on. But looking back, I actually rejected you, David. I actually rejected you. And you're the one that came back and said, do you not need me anymore? But that's for another video.
They contacted me. They contacted me in the comment section of my videos. Then they contacted me on Facebook and gave me messages that I replied to. She asked and claimed that she wanted help with her videos and stuff like this. And I didn't want anything to do with her after a couple exchanges of messages.
Please watch the parody that's the video before this. I might just link it below. It does have all the messages in there. It wasn't just a few. No, David, I can and will prove you wrong. I can and will prove you out to be the liar. You are the one that's personally disordered, not me. Because this ridiculousness that you're accusing me of, why? Because I know stuff about you, David. I've got letters from your victims. And why do I have letters from your victims, David? Because of my videos, warning people who you are. Your victims came to me. And you know this. And now you're trying to discredit me by making me out to be this stalker that you've got tons of evidence on, but you've never shown. David. I will try not to laugh. It's not worked.
Rejection, not discard. Right? You can't discard someone you don't know. You can't discard someone you're not in love with or have a relationship with or even friends with, correct?
Very interesting, David. 14 months. 14 months, David. Rewriting history is not really working, isn't it? Especially when history is written down on paper for all to see by a woman who is not going to be scared by your shit. Who's not going to shut up. No. I'm a thorn in your side. Oh, remember you saying that to somebody, one of your victims who contacted me because you threatened to expose the information that they'd given you. Why? Because they wanted their money back. They'd seen my videos and they weren't happy with having you as a life coach. So they quit and decided to ask for their money back. And you threatened and wrote an email and said that she lied, and you twisted her words, and you gaslighted her. I saw this letter. And then you called her a thorn in your side, and that if she continues, he will expose everything. That's what you do, David, don't you? You threaten people with exposure. That's why they don't come forth. Hopefully the more information that gets out about you, more people will come forth.
Yeah, just thought that was extremely interesting, and thank you very much, whoever you are that sent this. Erotomania, also known as declare-impulse from St. Right syndrome. It's a delusional disorder. It's almost entirely female that does it. Typically, they have bipolar or cluster B personality disorders. Often will have anxiety disorders, which my stalker says that they do.
Okay, well, so far we've got 2 diagnoses for my erotic mania, right? We've got the fact that 5 years ago I did a video, and rather than say the word reject, I said the word discard, which virtually mean the same thing. See, the word discard isn't only used in narcissism. It's just generally used. My sister can discard me. Your fathers can discard you. You can discard rubbish. My friend could discard me. Discard's a very generic word that can be used anywhere. So the fact that I said the word discard, that obviously is only for narcissism, and only like Freedom said in the parody, obviously using the word discard rather than reject is a trait of erotic mania. No, it's not. A trait of erotic mania, David, is actually, let me just check and have a look. The key symptom to erotomania is a resolute and delusional belief by someone that another person is in love with them. See, that would be proof, David. If you could come up with love letters, with gifts and flowers posted to you, with texts of undying love, with all sorts of things that I've done to show you that I love you, that would be more proofful. Behaviour linked to erotomania includes persistent efforts to make contact through stalking. Well, first of all, we know that I don't stalk. But even if I did stalk, where's the proof, David? Written communication and other harassing behaviours. See, for the proof of erotomania, it means lots of other things, not just saying the word discard and having anxiety, because that would probably, wow, it would probably have most people diagnosed as erotomania, because a lot of people will probably use the word discard, and there's probably quite a few people that have anxiety. No, David. The characteristics and symptoms of erotomania are loving you and being obsessed by you and thinking that you're obsessed by me. Well, you probably are slightly obsessed, but your obsession is to discredit me, and my obsession is to prove that you're a fake. So there's nothing to do with love in that at all. In fact, there's more proof out there that you have erotomania. Wow, that's my next video as well. Let's just look a little bit deeper, shall we? Found a few more things. This disorder is most often seen through, not exclusively, of course, in female patients who are shy. I'm shy. Dependent. I'm very dependent, aren't I, David? And sexually inexperienced. Well, that's something you'll never find out about. See, it also says that they perceive that they are being sent messages from the secret admirer. No. Dog whistling is not secret sex, romantic love letters from you at all. So when you do your dog whistling, don't try and change the content or the intent of that. Because your dog whistle videos, I've never, ever said that these videos that you make about me are anything but abuse, narcissism, hate, defamation and slander. Never once said that your videos to me are giving me secret messages that you love me. If that was there, then you could probably use that as proof. But David, you're grabbing at straws. You are one sick fucker.
They're obsessed. It's sexual desire and rejection.
Sexual desire. David, you repulse me. You actually repulse me.
aim outside of their social status, they punch high. And
God, it gets worse. Who's the grandiose? Who's delusional in this video? Who's the grandiose narcissistic person? So you're saying that I'm punching above my weight, obsessing over you, that you're better than me. You've always said that people aren't better than anybody else, but here we go. It's very strange, isn't it, David? It's just... You will know better than me, David. You're slime. You're disgusting. I wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. David, please. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Yeah, I'm probably embarrassing myself as well. I don't really care though. See, I don't have a business to run. I don't really have a reputation that I keep. I'm not making money from the videos I do about you. Because obviously what I've done also, the Toxic Free channel, which I quit because of you. No, I didn't make it because of you. I made it because I wanted to talk to people about abuse, and you happened to come into my life at that point and you created havoc. I then left that channel. So had I actually created that channel, for instance, and got 10,000 subscribers because of you, that's a bit grandiose, isn't it? Why would I have left it, David? Why would I have quit? Watch the last video on that channel, everybody, and you'll see that I quit because of David. And my top videos have nothing to do with David. In fact, I'm going to be a bit grandiose here, David. My very, very top video, the most viewed video, has more views than you. Shame. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
let's say the amateur would be like the teenager obsessed with a celebrity, something like that. Or it could be after unattainable men, like married men, such as the stalker who stalks me makes videos about dating married men.
See, that's hidden below the belt there, David, and you know that's a complete... Men, firstly, see, people who are narcissistic tend to lie and embellish. Man, David, I had a friend that I knew for 25 years, and he separated from his wife, and we decided to start dating, and it went sour. And that's how I started my channel off, because that man was very narcissistic towards me and made me sick. You're meant to be a life coach, and here you are victim shaming me. God, you're sad. The depths that you will go to, you will literally root around the bottom of the bin juice in a bin to find and discredit me. I knew that person, who was actually called David as well. I knew that man since I was 18 years old, okay? I don't go around dating married men, David. We were friends from the age of 18. And we had a conversation, and he was... Why am I explaining this to you? He separated, he moved out, and we started dating, and it didn't work out because he was a narcissist, okay? End of. Don't you fucking dare ever use my pain to abuse me.
It's amazing. Uncanny. They will be dangerous and aggressive behaviors. Could last for years and typically can't stop until they're jailed or in prison. It's been 5 years, 6 years of stalking.
So David, why aren't I jailed or in prison? 5 years of stalking? And you say that you've had the police around to me. No, you haven't, David. You apparently said the police had come to see me and told me to stop. But because I was suicidal, they didn't want to say anything to me in case I took my life. And they left. Anybody watching this, how illogical is that? Policemen are meant to be looking out for people. So David, I've not been arrested. I've not had my videos removed. Nothing's happened to me in the 5 years. You've threatened me with the FBI. You've threatened me with police, investigators. You said you've had investigators investigate my life. Who's the stalker, David? That's very much similar to stalking, don't you think? Getting people to delve into my life. Where's all this bullshit come from? What's happening? You future fake. You're supposed to be doing a video with BAM. Where did that happen? Mind you, can I mentioning Bam? Actually, Bam was the person about a week before. If I can find the screenshot, I'll put it up here. But, you know, if I can't find it, you believe me or you don't believe me, don't care. But Bam did mention erotomania a week before on someone else's channel, I think. Funny that, isn't it? Funny how Bam mentioned erotomania, and then a week later he did a video on it. And she was the first person, because she actually put the word first on her comment, to comment on it. So this is the psychopath that you're supporting, the one that likes to make people commit suicide, yeah? Now, I'm going to go into that more as well, David, the fact that you're supporting people who abuse. And yet the people who speak out against abuse, you then abuse. Couldn't make this shit up, could you?
Believes the relationship is more than it is. Believes target is obsessed with them and stalking them. That's what my stalker claims. 100 videos, I don't know, for 5 years saying, I'm doing it to them. I'm making videos about them. I'm stalking them. I'm obsessed with them.
Clever. Clever wording, David. Very clever wording. Firstly, there's not 100 videos, because you've gone through the 5 years saying 20 videos, 50 videos, 100 videos. You never make your mind up. See, when there's no consistency there, there's no truth. So you really need to remember, go back. Why don't you just go to my channel and count the videos that I made about you? Then you can get it right. Perhaps get the amount of videos. And the videos I've made about you are about your abuse to other people. They are about your harassment and abuse of me. You can say what you like. You can twist words. You can use ambiguity. You can twist my intent from meaning one thing to something else. You're fake. My videos have been about your abuse. My videos about telling people who you are. But you can speak about it how you like. You can say that, oh, she says that I'm smearing her. Well, you are. You are, David. And the truth will come out in the end. Is this why you're doing this? Because you're scared? Is this why you carry on 5 years down the road, still harassing me, still making up lies about me? Because you're scared, David? Is that what it is? You're scared the truth's coming out. And if you can discredit me, it's not working, David. The only thing it's working, the only people it's working to are the people that, well, I'm not going to diss your subscribers, but there is a few that believe your shit for their own reasons. For their own reasons. They're getting fed from you and you're getting fed from them. You're both happy. And none of you want that to be disrupted by anything.
Please show me one. One of my videos where I'm doing that. Smear campaigns, daily posts, false allegations, jealousy, and envy. If I even do videos with another licensed therapist, this stalker will contact this woman and other women and threaten them and tell them not to contact me, not have anything to do with me.
I like the way you said contact that woman, all the women, and changed it from one woman to women. Now, this was Nova you're talking about, I presume. Nova was the person that you did your videos with. She was from Australia and you obviously were in Las Vegas or in Las Vegas or whatever. And you had to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to do the videos. Now, I actually left a message under Nova because I thought that she had morals and ethics. And I didn't want to see her get involved with somebody who I knew had abused people, who I knew that was discrediting me, that I knew was doing a smear campaign on me. So I wrote under one of her videos, I think it's been removed, I warned her and said, just letting you know that David isn't the person he says he is. Please be careful. You know, that's what I did, David. You can word it and change the content as much as you like. But that's what I did to Nova. She ignored it and she continued doing videos with you. And she hasn't done a video with you a long time now. So I don't know what's happened between you both. Have you fallen out? I don't know. If she ever comes to her senses, I really do wish that she would actually come out and say something if she knows who you really are. Because you threatened people after the fact. I know, for instance, Elle from Mexico, who you were inappropriately sexually with her in a hotel room. You threatened You and another YouTuber threatened her to stay quiet. And because she's a victim of abuse, she did. Maybe one day she'll come forward. But I wrote to Nova to warn her that she was dealing with a narcissist. But it fell on deaf ears.
Contacted me 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They said, you're going to be famous someday. You're going to be famous someday. Don't ever forget about me. Said it like 3 times. Weird. So
is that another trait of erotomania? So we've got 3 traits of erotomania, right? First of all, I said the word discard instead of reject. I've got anxiety, and I said 5 years ago, which I'll put up here actually, what I actually said. It was a joke, and in fact it has 2 L's on the end, but I think it meant to say LOL, but I just missed the O out the middle. It was a joke, David, between friends. We were helping each other out on our channel, and I made a joke. I have the exact comment. And there was one because I actually put the word famous in the search engine in our messenger, and it came up with 1 comment, David. And the context was basically, I asked you a question, and I was saying, I'm hoping that you will also do that question I asked in your Q&A. And could you say my name? Because we did that back then, didn't we, David? We used to just mention each other's names so that we could promote each other's channel, because we were what were we, David? We were friends, weren't we, David? I want to be famous just like you. And it's got 2 L's, and I think that's meant to say LOL, because there's no other reason to have 2 L's at the end of a comment, is there? Yes, I was already planning on introducing you in the next Q&A video, and yay, like a child, as you do, because we were friends, David, and that was me being silly. I want to be famous just like you, because you had more subs than me at the time. So you can actually bring up the past and change context, change the words, change intent, do what you like. But I will keep on pointing things out of how you change the context of things. It was a joke between friends. That is not a diagnosis of erotic mania. Remember, David, you're a life coach and you're giving out really shit information. Because people who perhaps joke about something like that or have anxiety, they might think they've got erotomania. Be careful what you say out there. Because the bullets you're firing at me, the shrapnel's hitting your audience. The dog whistling you do to me is bad information that hits your audience. Stop. I mean, is this it? Is that all you've got, David? Is that it? A comment I said 5 years ago as a joke once. I want to be famous like you, LOL. See, we were friends then, so why didn't you pick up on that then, David? Oh, David, you didn't pick up on that. See, what you should have done is thought, wow, don't say that. You sound like you're an erotomania person. You didn't say that, did you? 5 years. It's taken you 5 years to diagnose me. My God, not very good, are you?
Oh, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you know that I make lots of videos about internet violence, stalking, things like this. It's huge on the rise. I started a petition, Stop Narcissistic Online Bullying. If you haven't signed it already, please follow the link down below. Just follow it, touch it. It's global, everyone. It's to stop this kind of stuff. It's damaging. It hurts people, forces people to take their own lives.
See, the fact that this man has got a petition to stop online bullying, I have no words for the way I feel about that. And you all are signing it. This is the biggest bully on YouTube. He threatens people. He steals money from people. He hurts people. He lies. He defames. He discredits people who know the truth of who he is. And he collaborates with and aligns himself with people who are abusers. Aligns himself with people like Alan Vinicum, who's abused the Rusek family for the past 5 years, who hopefully is going to go to court soon, and I support the Ruseks. He also is aligning himself with a lady called, sorry, it's not a lady, a person called Bam Bam, who I've mentioned quite a few times that abuses people, has threatened to come and take my piggy face off and shove it up my arse. She is evil, and she wants people to commit suicide, and she enjoys that, but David is now friends with her. So, Work it out for yourself.
And you guys are going to see this more and more. And now you can identify what it is. Erotomania. Typically by cluster B, personality disorder females. Obsessed. Obsessed daily videos with tons of editing, taking the whole day to make one every day. You wonder if they have a job. And how? How do they even keep a job?
I have a job, David. I own a hair salon in town. In fact, it's my 4th hair salon. Maybe I should toot my own horn. This is my 4th hair salon that I've created in town. I've worked on the cruise ships for 4 years. I've lived in a place called Abu Dhabi for 2 years. I worked for a rich Arab lady. I worked for the Sultan of Oman when I lived in Oman. I've lived in Dubai. I worked in a hotel in Bermuda for 2 years, which is why I still go out there, because I have friends there in Bermuda. If anybody wants to criticise me for going to Bermuda often, I stay with my friends. I was born and brought up in Africa, where I've got my toughness from. So I've not just been sitting in some cellar doing hair on men, crying over David. And David, I actually quite enjoy editing. I enjoy it. It's kind of like, you know, I normally make holiday videos and I actually enjoy editing. So when it comes to you, I'm not doing it because I'm obsessed. I do it because I enjoy it. Okay, good.
Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I posted something in the community section saying, does this sound like anyone you know? Do you guys know anybody like this? Anyone else out there?
I'm going to end this here now. That last sentence he said, you know, that's actually promoting people to say something, because obviously they will say, oh yes, that reminds me of your stalker. And that gives them all chance then to start talking about me in the comment section, which apparently David always promotes as being a safe place to be, which is not really, is it? No, because you just promote and incite hate. And so I'm going to leave it there, people. David, I think I've basically said most stuff to you. You're an embarrassment. You're a joke. I am not obsessed with you in a sexual or romantic way. I'm obsessed with clearing my name, with showing people who you are. Okay? That's it. It's as far as it goes. Because you repulse me, you sicken me, you're disgusting. And if you think that you can diagnose somebody with erotomania, with the fact that the woman said the word discard, which is a very generic word, and that's, I have anxiety. Not surprised after 5 years of you. Having anxiety is not erotomania. And saying the words, I want to be famous like you. No, David, they're not traits of erotic mania. The traits of erotomania would be me sending you flowers, making videos of a dying love. It's disgusting. You don't know what you're talking about. You give out shit information just to abuse me. Your whole channel is based around lying about me, and my whole channel is based around proving that you're fake. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for the support. Take care. Bye.